The cornerstone of Trans and Thrift is mutual aid, which is basically the understanding that as marginalized people, the systems and the structures that exist do not give us what we need, not all the time anyway. So it's communities coming together to help each other out. Like, I give what I can, and in the process I can also get what I need.
Just a space in a community ya trans wanaweza patana to share, clothing, belongings, how, if it's curtains, if it's hata zile vitambaa za viti nini, and not just for the trans community but also for the larger sexual orientation also spectrum. Space pia.
For trans folks, most probably it's like, as pre-trans women, most of them don't have a lot of places to either go get things, or maybe anxiety or the society itself can't allow them to go purchase things that they would want for themselves because of the questionable things that may come up, and mostly they might even lead to violence. So most of them prefer getting them from either other people or sending people for them, and sometimes they don't even get to their right sizes. So when you have an opportunity to either exchange something with someone, maybe they can get something out of that they can see fit for them.
When trying to purchase clothes that might affirm their gender, they could go through dead naming, they could go through stigma where a seller would say, I'm not selling to you. There's also the anxiety that comes with it, especially if you're going to say use M-Pesa and you know that you've not attained legal recognition, you don't have an ID that reads a name that reflects your identity. So Trans and Thrift is an amazing space because it allows for people to get gender affirming clothes without having to go through all that. It also boosts the confidence and the esteem of transgender persons, because you're always thinking how you have nothing, but if you go back, you look, you find something you can give to another person, then you also gain confidence. You feel like you also have something to contribute to your fellow trans person.
I believe that mutual aid is the solution actually to most of our problems. Like, think of sustainability, think of preserving the dignity of the people that that we are helping. Like I always say, when we start looking at things as at charity, at security response, as something that we need to report about, as something that we need to mine success stories from such activities, that is where we lose it. But if you look at it from the angle of mutual aid, you start to realize it's more about the person, right? And also, I think it feeds to the larger idea of, and we never thought about this, of sustainable fashion. I mean, that's the whole ideal of thrifting, right? That instead of throwing away something in your body useful, someone else could benefit from it. Yeah, so whatever you have, you can always bring it over to Trans and Thrift.
In a summary, it was beautiful, it was glorious. It was seeing people laughing, seeing people interacting, and not focusing on, oh my God, you're trans, but just focusing on, oh my God, you're human, and we can laugh about these jokes together, we can play, we can interact, we can just be without, labels on our faces. Just seeing people existing outside, trans being on the forehead written, oh yeah, we have to talk about trans issues, we have to talk about that. And also to add on to that was the intimate conversations we had about trans visibility, what it meant for different trans people from work settings, trans people from the movement, trans people from, just existing as trans people, navigating through life. And I really like that because it brings out the humanity, the human sense of trans people. It's not just this huge thing from the Western concept, it's more of, I'm human, just like you watching, it's just me. And I do the same things as you, and I exist just as you, and I don't require special needs or special rights. I just need basic rights just as you.
I would say the event was a success. It was an amazing time getting to interact with my trans siblings and allies. I think more and more we realize the importance of these spaces and the importance of community and care. It's been great. I think the highlight of my day was the games. I'm very competitive, so it was great to interact and play around with the rest of the team. Aside from that, seeing the joy in people's faces as folks were thrifting was a great moment. Yeah, but overall a very good day. And yeah, more and more spaces like this. Thank you.
Happy Transgender Day of Visibility 2024. And I really hope you had a blast this year, because I did. And I feel the best part of my day was just seeing people exchange clothes, take up clothes. I think we take for granted what that means to community, like the mutual exchange. There's always this idea that help comes from outside, that what we can contribute is too minute to even mention, but it's the little things that a simple thing like a book that I don't read anymore and I pass it to the next person and it should be valuable to them, and it would mean the world to them. For me, that's what made my Trans Day of Visibility a thing. That is visibility. Visibility is not just social media, visibility is just not being on the streets as ingine, visibility is just you showing up for the trans person next to you. Yeah.
Well, my day was great. I had a lot of fun. I got so many clothes. I enjoyed the food, the interaction, the venue. Yeah, I would like this to be done more often. It's nice and it's rejuvenating and it's good. It was an epic day for the holidays, so yeah, it's a vibe. I really enjoyed it.